James.
Hello.
Hello.
It's Judy on the line as well.
Oh, hello. It's James here.
Okay. Hi. I've just.
Hi. Hello. Gordon will be joining us, no doubt, very shortly.
Oh, cool. Okay.
Hello.
Oh, hi.
Hello.
Hi there. Who have we got on the call?
Judy.
James?
And
Who's
James,
me?
I think. Judy. Met you
Judy.
the other day.
Oh, hi Judy. How are you?
Thanks.
Good. And you well?
Yes, thanks.
Excellent. Excellent. James, did I hear you on the call?
Yeah, I'm on, yeah.
Good man. Anyone else?
Anand's here as well.
Oh, Anand. There we go.
Oh, hi, Anand.
Hello, James. How are you?
Yeah, great. Wonderful to be in touch with you, and very much looking forward to seeing you in Birmingham.
Yeah, looking forward to that as well.
I've actually got a ticket for you for Friday as well, Anand.
Oh, excellent. All right. I'll organise the hotel then.
Okay, brilliant. Brilliant. And we've got a dinner with Bob and Sue Burdick on the Friday night as well.
Excellent. Okay.
I'll ping you through all the details.
Okay. And you'll be pleased to know that I managed to do this via Skype. So I'm
There you
I'm
go.
getting to grips with all this technology.
And it'll be nice and cheap as well. I think there's a free call on Skype.
Is it? Oh, God willing.
Yeah. Anyone else on the call? Oh. Well, there you go, James.
Judy should join us.
Yeah. No, I'm
Judy's
here.
on the
I'm
call.
here.
Yeah, Judy's on the call.
Judy?
Yeah. Okay, we'll give it a minute or so more. So I got official confirmation that you to Senior Direct, Anand. Do you see that?
Yes, the emails came through, yeah.
Okay.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
Not bad for a first month.
Yeah, not bad at all.
When did the email come through?
It came through tonight, actually. Liz must be working
came
tonight.
through tonight, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Did I hear someone else come on the call?
David Hollands.
David. Gosh, we've got the Quilla group here, haven't we? I'm speaking to Annan, and we've got James on the other line, so we've got a very select group here.
Yeah.
Yeah, very.
Very. James, hi, good evening.
Hi.
Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you all to mute your call. And Annan, if you're on Skype, there's a little box there that you can pull up and you can mute it from there as well. Okay, to mute the call. Oh, you sound go star and 0. Perfect. Okay, brilliant. All right, well, welcome everyone to the call tonight. And tonight's call is all about a very, very important subject, which is taking care of your new Juice Plus customers. Now, we're all charged with the responsibility of looking after and building a customer base. So one of the key things that you really need to be doing is looking after your customers. So to help me do this, I'm going to pass over to James Sanderson, who, like myself, has been in the business for over 20 years. We've built up an amazing amount of customers between us over the years. And I know from my own personal experience, some of my own customers have been with me almost 20 years. So that's very interesting. The company over the years have also put together a very, very interesting program which we can just tap into and follow, and that's the most important thing. So James, I'm going to hand over to you, and if you could actually lead us into that'd be great.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good evening, everyone. I think this is a subject which is often overlooked, and there are a number of reasons why this is overlooked. I think, firstly, people are very keen to be generating new customers all the time, and there's quite a lot of excitement about generating new customers. But also, people are slightly reluctant to call their customers sometimes because they think they may cancel. Now, this, of course, is the huge dilemma, because it's almost like a catch-22, because if we don't talk to them, they almost certainly will cancel. Now, another very important point for our consideration is that the key with our business is to get all of our customers to take their second box, to be willingly ready to receive their second box. Now, this is crucial because if people are ready and willing to take their second box, then they are very, very likely to stay as customers over a long period of time. Now, the reality is that lots and lots of people are generating customers and are unnecessarily allowing their customers to fall off the back end because they are just simply not focused on the follow-up. Now, the company completely understand how important this is, of course, but also they understand the dilemma of distributors about how to follow up and when to follow up. So I just want to just talk through very quickly a program that the company had developed, and some people may be not knowing that this has been running for about 4 years now. And the company have done everything they can to take the load from us so that the customer is being followed up as closely as possible so that we can be guaranteed that the customer will then take the second box. Now, the whole process really starts with where we actually place the order for the customer. And it's very important that right at the end of that process, we select the option where the customer will be followed up automatically by the company. So if we choose that, then our job immediately becomes an awful lot easier, because immediately what kicks in is a 100-day customer care plan, which is instigated and driven by the company. So what will happen is that there are 7 emails that will go out from the company, one every 1 to 2 weeks, with information about the product, just giving people the encouragement and just flagging up the key issue about the fact of why it's so important to be taking the product. Now, the point that really this starts with is us, though, making a first telephone call ourselves. And we would recommend that that call would be after 10 days. Now, why are we making a call after 10 days? We're making a call after 10 days because we want and need to establish a few things. Firstly, we must establish that they've got the product. Now, believe it or not, they may not have done. It's unusual, but it could be that their product has been delayed, or it's been misdelivered to a neighbor, or something has gone astray with the product. But the most important thing about the first call is to make sure that people are actually taking it. Because perhaps not surprisingly, but sometimes people have the product in their possession, but they just haven't actually started it. So a very important question to ask, obviously, after the first 10 days is, firstly, just wanted to make sure that you've got your Juice Plus okay, and I just wanted to ask you, when are you taking it? Not if you're taking it, yes or no, but when are you taking it? Because we want to know that they are really, really taking it. And just to talk that through with them about, is it best to take them all at once, or should they take the fruits and the berries in the morning? Just at least have the conversation so that they can think through when they should be taking the product. And if they're not taking it regularly, they would then hopefully start to take it more regularly. And then there will be another series of emails that we'll go through. And then at day 30, which is at the end of the first month, we're going to call them, and we're just going to, first of all, make sure that they're getting on well with it, that they're managing to take it every day. What are they noticing? That's a very good question to ask them. What have other people said to them? And just by getting people to give feedback about the positive responses they're getting from other people, or the positive responses that they have noticed, and getting them to speak those out, so that in a sense reinforces the incredible value of the product to them as they speak it out. So then we let them move on, and we then get up to day 100, and in the meantime they've received a series of emails. But day 100, we're going to be back on the phone to them again, and we're going to be asking them something very, very important, and that is, how much Juice Plus have you got left? Now, there may be a situation where someone is saying, well, actually, we're close to running out, and that might be because they're sharing it with their partner, or they might have given some to a friend, or I spoke to someone today and he'd given one whole month's worth to his father, so obviously he's going to be running out much sooner than I would have anticipated. So if people rather perhaps have got too much product, then we know to adjust the next delivery date for their product so that they're not receiving a box when they still feel they've got too much left, because that is the number one reason why people will cancel. If people are left on their own without any actual telephone calls whatsoever, and the emails are very important, but the calls are really important. If they're left completely on their own and we don't know how much product they've got left, and then suddenly they have rather too much because it's taken a long time perhaps for them to get going with it, they've missed out days in the period, and they're left with too much product, and suddenly another box arrives, they throw their hands up in horror and think, oh my goodness, this company is overwhelming me with product, I don't want this, and their number one inclination is then to cancel and not want it anymore. And so we want to avoid that at all costs. And I think finally, and just before I hand back to Gordon, I think, we are so often, and it's so important that we would be driven by a genuine care for our friends, our family, knowing that if people are on Juice Plus, then it's going to utterly transform their lives for a significant period of time. It lengthen their lives, give them a better quality of life. What better gift could we be giving our family and our friends? And therefore the key with this whole follow-up process, that it is driven by a deep desire for people to be genuinely benefited from the product, for people to have a really, really big result and that for that to have a big impact on their lives. So, not to make it too dramatic, that's really the key element about the follow-up and how important it is, and to know that the company is really helping us so much with the process.
Excellent, well done, James. And yeah, you know, the company are here to help us as much as they can. And one of the things that James mentioned were these series of email messages. And if you go onto your online office and go into training, you can actually select the option, which is communication with customers, and it has the list of all these letters so that you know what's actually being said. I also like to download those messages and perhaps just keep them on a file as well on my computer. So I might want to ping an additional message to somebody all about Juice Plus. And maybe, as James said, you know, the most important thing is to select this automatic feature at the end of processing a PCP. If you don't, because maybe the customer's requested, look, I don't want any kind of junk mail sent from the company or something like that, you might want to just do this yourself by sending an individual email yourself, and that's quite important to do that. So it's got a list of all these 7 emails. It's also got a list, and some people choose to use this as well. It's got a list of all the PCP welcome letters. So whether it's a welcome letter for Premium Plus or Juice Plus or Vineyard or Complete, and again, I download those to put those on my computer. So if for any instance I get someone who wants to buy a wholesale box of Juice Plus or a one-off box of Juice Plus and they don't want any communications, etc., I would send them that letter with the Juice Plus, just tell them how to take it if it's a premium or Juice Plus capsules or whatever. Also, when you go onto that page of communications, there's something very interesting there as well, and this is what's called follow-up e-cards for customer service. And I know when, you know, the kind of, before this automatic system came in place, we used to have little postcards, you know, just to let them out so that your customers would just feel that, you know, they were appreciated and cared, and the postcards would allow us to do that. But we can now send them automatically as well using an e-card, which again can be driven from the system. And these e-cards will just say something like, hey, congratulations for taking Juice Plus, and this is what's in Juice Plus, just to let you know it's improving your nutrition or whatever else, and you know, how much is your health worth? How much is your health worth? You decide, and things like that. So again, very, very good, useful tools to have when you're speaking to people, and really, you know, kind of being able to do that and building your customer base. And you know, really, from your best customers, you will also find that you can actually kind of get your best prospects. And they will actually, if you look after them properly, they will become distributors. And I'm always looking and speaking to people. And if I see someone, my customers, maybe recommending a referral to me or 1 or 2 referrals, where, you know, they've got some other relatives that might be interested in going on Juice Plus, or they've given me someone else, I'll go back to them and say, hey, listen, you know, there's a way that you can come on board. There's a way that you can actually perhaps get Juice Plus for free. And I talk them through the process for that. And how I mean for Juice Plus for free is if they became a distributor, if they then got a number of customers for themselves, then the retail profit alone, just based on the number of customers they would have over a whole year's period, would pay for their Juice Plus. And the number, depending on the mix of the product, would be anything between 8 and 12, whether it's premium capsules or just the fruits and veg, or a combination of completes as well. So that's always a useful kind of way of actually helping and getting in new distributors. And I don't know if you're all aware, but from the 1st of March, the distributor fee has now gone down to £50. So instead of 65, it's now £50. And the reason for that is that we won't be sending out any more franchise manuals with the packs. And, you know, everything really is on your back office, and you can actually access that at any time. And again, all the information, including the franchise manual, if you go into the training section of NSA Online, then all that information is for you there. So coming back to the customers, the key, as James said, is to keep that communication going, keep that talk going. if you find that you're building a business where you've got quite a few customers, then it may well be that you want to employ a kind of wellness coordinator. And this might be somebody within your own group, it might be somebody outside, it might be just be somebody, another distributor that's interested in actually just kind of, helping out with talking to customers. But what you can do here is by kind of having a wellness coordinator, they'll be able to look after your customers while you go out there building the business. And that's a very important part of the process. My wife and I, we've got a wellness coordinator, and she's always kind of helping us to kind of flag up who's next and who we should be talking to. If she's not talking to them, who we are talking to. Also, if there's an opportunity to perhaps move someone from a fruit and vegetable order to a fruit, vegetable and berry order, then she flags that up. She'll maybe have that conversation. And if, as I said before, there's somebody who's actually giving us referrals and maybe hot prospect to actually kind of sign into the program, then, she would be flagging that up as well. So never underestimate getting someone in to do that. We've also got a professional program which works, again, with NSA, where the wellness coordinator can actually obtain payment through the Juice Plus office, where the retail profit is actually split 50% with her and yourself. And that way, the automatic payment for the actual wellness coordinator, they're almost incentivized, as James says, to get that second box out there, to get other boxes out there. Because the more customers you put on, the more payment that they get, and the more that the repeat customer comes through, then the more payment they get as well. So that's a very important process, and something that, if you are into that, do get back to your upline sponsor, or come and have a chat to me, drop me an email, and I can talk you through that process. So that 100-day program is very important. It's the key to actually moving forward with our business, and building those lasting relationships with your customers is really key, because we're all charged with the responsibility of getting a customer base. We're at the same time building our business. But obviously, it's the concept is a lot of people doing a very small amount. So the more that you get used to speaking to your customers, the more you get used to seeing the reaction. And if the success is there, get a hold of the successes. We had someone the other day, within 6 days of taking Juice Plus, the psoriasis the marks on their hands had almost completely disappeared. And, that was fantastic. You can get a testimonial from that person. I know that it's anecdotal evidence, but, I'm sure that nutrition played a big part in the change in that person's makeup. And that's very important to do. So we kind of we don't want to exhaust it too much and kind of go on about this too much, but it's a very important subject. Perhaps we can open the lines. Has anyone got any questions that maybe want to raise at this stage? If you have, press *0, and that will come back onto play again, and you can ask the question. Any questions?
I have to say, I don't have any questions. I think you sort of went over that very well, and I'd actually just been reading all that stuff in the manual online before the call started. This is Anand speaking, sorry.
Anand, yep, okay. Good, okay, brilliant.
Yeah,
well, that's
for me,
great.
Gordon, like Anna and I actually went through it all this afternoon in preparation for tomorrow, and up the wellness coordinator. Didn't quite understand it, but you made it quite clear. And I think when you get to that point where you've got enough customers and be your own wellness coordinator, I think is what you're really saying, and so you haven't got time for it, and then delegate it.
Yes, exactly.
And being your own wellness coordinator is the first step.
Yeah.
So good stuff.
And I sometimes even offer to start off with, let's say that I get a medical professional into the business, a doctor, a dentist, that type of thing, or a kind of an osteopath. I actually offer to become their wellness coordinator to start off with, until they have enough customers where they can then allocate that to a receptionist or someone in the practice that we might be looking after them as well.
How is that received, Gordon?
It's received very well because it especially kind of medical professionals, they've got too much to kind of deal with other than kind of their business, if you like, without actually having to worry about something like Juice Plus. So we do it in a couple of different ways. Perhaps they either give me a referral to the particular patient that they have. I then phone them up and then, kind of basically get them on Juice Plus or explain a little bit more about Juice Plus to them if they haven't been explained properly. And then, we work it like that. So it does work very well. But I'm always looking in the practice for someone who will take over that role. And very often the person that I do eventually find to take over the role will actually become a distributor in their own right as well.
Okay.
Yeah? Oh, I lost the call.
Yeah, very useful.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
okay.
Great, thank you.
Good. All right, well, listen, if there's no further calls, I think, there's no sense of kind of carrying on the call tonight. Just a couple of things, reminders. We're having a team dinner on the Friday before the conference up in Birmingham. So for those listening to the call tonight, get back to your upline sponsor or myself, and we'll let you know more details about that. And obviously, the conference is coming up next Saturday, 1,500 people at the ICC in Birmingham. If you're going to have your best opportunity to get your best people in, it's got to be to get them to Birmingham next week. And, when James and I first started, we took ourselves to America to see the bigger picture. Here we've got the bigger picture coming on our own doorstep, which is only a couple of hours' drive away for most of us. So I do recommend and commend you to get as many people as you can, load up your car, whatever needs to be taken to get those new people there to see that picture, and hopefully we can go on and build a fantastic customer base and a fantastic business with all the new ideas that we pick up next weekend. All right, everybody, thank you very much for giving up your time on a Sunday evening, and I hope that's been useful. It has been recorded. I'll put it up on the website, and we'll be able to listen to that. And there's 2 hours now of recordings up there, and we'll hopefully we can actually get those to your new people as well, and that's a great way to start them off. All that it means for me to say is good night, and I look forward to speaking to you all soon. Good night.
Good night, thank you.
Bye-bye.